Meet Samantha Cromblehome. She's only 21, but already she's double her age in debt. That's a staggering £42,000 accumulated in just over 3 years.
There's no stopping me. You know, I will get a beam on bonnet and I will buy what I want to buy at the end of the day.
This Blackpool lass just has to have it. She's engaged to be married, owns her own home, is on her 4th brand new car.
Well, I actually don't even drive, which is even more ridiculous.
But still she keeps spending.
My Gucci watch, a Dior necklace, Chanel sunglasses. Very good.
The only thing she doesn't have is the cash to pay for it all.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, it's just the Halifax.
At just 21, Sam's future is bleak. It's time to send in the experts before it's too late. Lifestyle guru Jay Hunt will help put the brakes on her spending.
What I want you to do is look down here, and if you can't answer these questions in the right way, then that item is to be left in the shop.
While psychological coach Benjamin Fry will help Sam get to the root of her urge to splurge.
A life without conflict, a life without anger, is a fairy tale. And you're living the fairy tale.
Her fairy tale is about to become a nightmare.
I'm in that much debt. Basically needs sorting out, need to know why I'm doing it, because I've carried on in this situation that I'm in now, be in prison in about a year or something probably.
Sam Cromblehome lives with her fiancé Gavin in Blackpool. She earns just over £800 a month working in admin for the local council. A tiny salary that doesn't touch her huge £42,000 debt. When it comes to the finer things in life, she just can't say no. From designer makeup...
Estee Lauder, Yves Saint Laurent, not forgetting Christian Dior. But they're all expensive, aren't they?
To bargain clothes, even if she doesn't like them.
Oh, yes! I actually think they're a bit disgusting. I don't know why I bought... Oh, yes, I know why I bought them. Because they were £59.99, reduced to £20.99. That's why I bought them.
In this relationship, partner Gavin deals with the boring stuff. His £15,000 salary covers the household bills. Not that he sleeps well at night.
It's scary because, like, Samantha wants the perfect wedding. She wants a wedding in a castle, and at the moment, it's, you know, we can't even plan that far ahead because of the debt.
And he's not the only one who's panicking.
Her debt has just got too much now. She needs to do something about it now, rather than keep thinking, oh, it'll go away, or keep paying the minimum on that credit card and this credit card. She needs to do it now.
I think the only thing that is going to stop her is possibly having her house repossessed and having her car taken off her and ending up in a very desperate situation. Because I really still think that she finds it funny. She finds everything a joke, actually.
It's time to bring Sam back down to earth with a bump.
I need to stop spending, but it kind of takes my mind off things, even though I know deep down I can't afford anything that I buy, absolutely anything. I still do because it makes me feel good.
It's day one of her financial makeover. With Sam at work, Benjamin and Jay are in Blackpool to snoop around her house. They're looking for clues as to why she spends and what it is she's splashing out on.
Here we are, bedroom. Ooh, very swanky. Look at this. It's like a Gucci display. It's hilarious.
I've got a stack of about 8 Gucci boxes full of jewellery. I don't think there's anything better, really. I think that's the best. Well, probably is, obviously, like Cartier and things, but I can't afford those. So I'll just stick with Gucci for the meantime.
It's quite interesting. What's in the... Oh, look. Gucci watch. I Love Dior pendant. Oh.
Oh, wow.
God, look. She's got loads of designer makeup, Chanel, Dior. She's obviously a makeup girl. I love the fact that she's put her 4 credit cards in with those, like it's sort of a little display.
Part of a display.
It's a lot of money, I tell you, on this table here.
If you bought this lot, you'd be out of pocket to the tune of £5,000.
More. Designer boots. Not even been worn, they've still got the cardboard in. Little Gucci purse. Oh, God. You can see where her money's going.
It's definitely expensive.
Yeah.
Shay, bedside reading. 2 images of vulnerable women turned away from the camera.
And cuddly toys.
Maybe she has some childhood issues.
And with no clothes on show, Benjamin suspects she's hiding something.
Shay, I think you should do this.
Just want to know what's up there.
Well, it'll be about the contents of 18 wardrobes.
No.
To my unpractised eye. There's a lot of clothes and stuff.
No.
It's like the Sick Secret, like the Dorian Gray portrait in the attic.
Oh, no.
That is, if you think about the mental architecture of the house, right up top is where she keeps all her problems.
They found the purchases, now for the paper trail.
Oh, look, there's her car keys. Saab. Let's have a look. Oh, look, she's just bought it.
Nice.
Oh, look at this. She's bought this car, and this is from the DSA.
What, she bought the car before her driving test?
So she hasn't taken her driving test yet.
She must be confident.
Your bank account is overdrawn. She's gone over her overdraft limit. They've written about 18 times about the same amount. She's obviously not done anything about it.
Do you think every time they write to her, they charge as well?
Red bill. Uh-oh. Loan application document. Surprise, surprise.
Loan makers.
She's asking for a loan for $19,000.
It looks like they're offering her one.
She's only 21, don't forget.
Well, the good thing is she's got a lot of life left in front of her to...
Pay it all off. Take this.
Please do, Jay.
I'll leave her her car keys.
Jay and Benjamin have seen enough. It's time for a seaside attraction, Spendaholics style.
Hello, Sam.
Hi!
On Blackpool's North Pier, Benjamin and Jay have literally hung out Sam's debts to dry.
Now,
That sounds right.
you can open your eyes
Okay.
and have a walk up here and see what's hanging up along the pier for you.
Shall I walk? I don't want to open
You
it.
don't want to open them now, do you? Come on, be brave. Okay.
Over 100 metres of washing line are strung along the pier.
Whose are those?
Those are the clothes that are in the attic that I don't wear.
Exactly. We've been to the attic and we've opened all the bags
Oh
of
my
all
God.
your things.
Goes off the mood.
Yeah.
Look at these. These are a fab pair of jeans. Still got the label on.
Yeah.
Oh, and a skirt there with a label on. Oh, God, it keeps going.
I mean, there is quite a lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
And all money, effectively, that's dead money, sitting in your attic.
There are more than 300 items of clothes, enough for a year, and she wears none of them.
We're not near the end yet.
No, we've got a bit of a way to go. This is our denim boutique.
Oh, see? I love them jeans.
So all the way from here, all the way back where we've just walked is effectively dead money.
I just feel it's such a waste. An absolute waste.
You can continue having a browse while Benjamin goes off and gets something.
While her spending hangs out to dry, Benjamin has another shock for her that might leave her feeling a little deflated.
Now, there's somebody behind you who
Okay.
you can turn around and say hello to, who might have something to show you.
Oh, my God.
I just went for a bit of Blackpool Rock, but I spent all my money on balloons.
Oh, my God.
What's weird about these balloons is your pictures on every single one of them. Inside this net, I have 300 balloons. Each one represents £10
Oh, no.
that you spend on your appearance, on your face, on makeup, on stuff like that. Every year. That's £3,000 a year
You think I was Kate Moss?
Sam.
I can't look.
She doesn't
You
want to
have
let
to
it
look.
go. She
You
doesn't
have to
want to
look.
let go.
This is what you're doing with your cash.
Whoa!
Oh my God. Oh, that's just silly.
It's your money.
It is? Oh my goodness.
The last
What
few
do you-
£10.
Bye.
It looks pretty, but here's money down the drain.
And then it's gone.
And then it's gone.
It's like I don't want them to go now. Come back.
You really didn't want to let them go,
No,
did you?
I didn't. I really didn't want to let them go. I really didn't.
That's because you know you're letting go of a certain lifestyle here today, don't you? You know you're going to have to change and let go of some of your behaviours.
Oh, gosh.
Do you think you're ready to do that?
I hope so. I have to be.
As the sun sets on Sam's spending, Benjamin and Jay decide it's time to talk turkey. Cold turkey.
So, Sam, this is where we sit down and we work out with you what we're going to give you for your budget for your cold turkey week.
Okay.
But before we do that, we just wanted to ask you how much money you think you get through on an average week on non-essential items.
We're about £60.
You think it's £60? You're just guessing, aren't you?
Yeah.
It seems.
I am completely guessing.
You really have no idea.
No, absolutely. Honestly, hand on heart, I have no idea.
Well, Jay does.
Well, we do, because we're not guessing. We've been through your statements, and in an average week, you get through £265.60.
Serious? Oh
Seriously.
my God.
That's not including paying your mortgage or bills or anything. That's just spending for fun.
My heart's pounding.
Is it?
Yeah.
So that's 4 times as much as you thought it was.
Every week.
Absolutely crazy.
You said it.
It's so easy,
really
though,
is.
to see.
I'm trying to think, on what? What have I got to show for £260 a week?
Stuff around the house. Good laugh.
So next 7 days is all about the minimum amount of money that you think you could get through. What do you think that could be?
I think maybe I could cope on 40.
Okay.
For the simple reason I have to buy cocktails on Friday.
Oh, an essential, you see.
Yeah. Oh, no. Well, a little bit essential.
Well, we were thinking that you could probably survive on £15 and we're going to throw in 60p. And that's based on the fact that you walk to work,
Yeah.
you say that you just have a cup of soup at lunchtime,
Yeah.
and that should buy you a couple of drinks. What do you reckon?
I'll give it a go.
Do you understand that the point of this is to make you, force you into hard choices?
Yeah.
And find out what you really, really miss the most. So just 7 days.
I will do it.
You mean that?
Hope so. I need to. Otherwise, I don't know where I would be this time next year, otherwise. If I carried on like this.
I'm not sure I really get the sense that she's yet taken her spending problems very seriously. Although I think also beneath that is actually a layer of panic. The slight lack of seriousness is perhaps a defence against really being genuinely very worried about where her life can go if she carries on like this.
I think Sam's quite an interesting personality. I think she uses her humour as a defence. So her sort of first reaction is always to smile and laugh. But I think the penny is dropping.
It's day 1 of cold turkey, and that means digging out the sliced white and Tupperware.
I'm going to make myself a ham sandwich, I think. Which won't be that nice, I don't think. You know when they actually get in one of those brushes and they brush the pigs and they get all little bits of meat off, and this is what it really makes, actually. See, cats like it. Ham sandwich is looking very tasty.
That afternoon, Sam heads to a discount supermarket. It's a far cry from her usual culinary treats.
I had a takeaway about 3 nights a week, about £18 each time. We used to just pay by cheque. Most of them bounced, which then cost me an extra 30 quid because, you know, it's absolutely ridiculous. Honestly, these takeaways cost me like 40 quid a night in the end.
Her food shop costs a £5, a third of a lipstick in Sam's old currency.
That's £5.34.
Okay, thank you. There's 5.
Thank you.
I think hopefully I've got enough food now without buying takeaways for the week.
Day 2 dawns, and Benjamin's keen to catch up with Sam. Underneath the bubbly facade, he suspects there lurks a darker side to her personality.
It's going to dig things up that I obviously am trying to keep down, you know, all sorts of things that are churning away inside. I really am apprehensive about it, but I have to do it. It's, you know, something that's going to help me.
But before he can start digging, Benjamin wants to know just how she's run up a £42,000 debt in just 3 years.
When did you start the spending?
My family have always had nice things, so, you know, it's aspiring to be at their level. You know, wanting to have what they have kind of thing as well.
For as long as you can remember?
Yeah. My mum is the same again, you know, she's extremely image conscious, you know. She always has her hair lovely and her makeup lovely, and again she has all the nice makeup and jewellery, and that's obviously where I've seen it all and thought, right, that's what I have to do.
How about if you just let go of it, though?
Oh, I'd walk around like this. I would, honestly. I'd be scared to, you know, take my mask off.
Just if you put a brave face on things, if you look good, if everything looks right, then the real emotional stuff, the real interpersonal family things, don't have to be worried about.
You hit the nail on the head there with the family, I think, definitely. It was always, you know, a case of looking good and impressing and no one asked any questions. Definitely, it could be that with me.
Growing up, Sam learned to mask her true feelings from her parents. Could this be the cause of her excessive behaviour?
So where does your anger go?
This is it. It's all inside.
Where does it go?
Nowhere. It's all just stuck.
You know what it does in there?
Makes me worse. It churns me up.
Well, it makes you spend money. Here's the thing. A life without conflict, a life without anger, is a fairy tale. And you're living the fairy tale. Every fairy tale has a dark forest.
Yeah.
And I think what you've done is you've left out
the horrible bits.
The horrible bits. Would you like to go there with me?
I would, but it's so difficult for me to get myself back into the bubbly me after being there. I'd rather just not do it, you know, but I know I have to do it.
Sam's 21 years old. She's never had these kind of conversations before. It's not easy. She's been very brave, very open. You know, you can see in her how she doesn't connect with the seriousness of her issues. She doesn't really get the darkness of it. She's just really afraid to go there.
Sam obviously finds it hard to open up, and she falls back on some trusty retail therapy.
I want those ones. £195. Well, I like them shoes. Oh, and they're nice, and they're nice, and they're nice. Oh, I'm depressed. Cold turkey is hard because when you want something, you can't have it.
It's still day 2 of cold turkey, but Sam's struggling with the concept and heads for her favourite beauty store.
I'm going to get the black magic. I'll just not eat. I'll just smell nice instead.
350. Would you like a
There you are.
for that?
If you don't mind, a little bag would be great. Thank you.
Continuing with the fairy tale theme, she buys a soap that promises to wash away her troubles and her budget. She's left with just over £1 a day for the rest of the week.
Bye-bye.
By day 4, the session with Benjamin is hitting home.
On the outside, I'm this really bubbly person, and I always tried to be this bubbly person. And I have been for years and years, for as long as I can remember. And obviously, if you start tapping into bad emotions, this bubbly person disappears and I become a person that I don't want to be, someone who's sad and depressed.
It's something her partner Gavin is all too aware of.
I think she hides it from me because it upsets her and she doesn't want me to see her upset. But sometimes I do wish she'd sit down and just tell me she's upset, you know, instead of just hiding it and then letting it all build on top of her.
Day 5, and bubbly Sam's back with her spendthrift alter ego.
This was last night's tea. It was only a ickle pizza of 7 inches.
She's blown £4.70 on it and won't eat the leftovers.
It's gone hot. It's like a brick. Would anyone eat that?
In an attempt to get back on the wagon, she cooks the budget rice. Haute cuisine, it ain't.
It's disgusting. Would you eat this?
Her dinner's in the bin, along with her budget. It's day 6, payday for everyone but Sam. Her mates head to the pub. Armed with just 66p and a royal charm offensive, she decides to join them.
I've still got 66p in my purse. And I've gone through 6 bottles of wine.
Sam sat on her purse, but she's managed to rack up a bar tab of over £60. Best friend Amy thinks she's missing the point.
Everyone's sort of been buying bottles of wine, so she's actually had to spend no money, which is really good. But isn't in a way, because she's still getting things bought for her, so she's not going to learn. 7th bottle.
7th bottle of wine just arrived.
I don't think it'll last. To be brutally honest, I do not think it'll last because it's not Sam. She has to go out and spend money.
Hey, big spender!
Overall, today's gone well. She has done cold turkey really well, but we've treated her a bit too much. So she's actually in bed, not very well. So on behalf of Sam, I'll give it the thumbs up. Good night.
Sam's blagged her way through cold turkey, but her friends won't always be so generous. It's time to get tough. Jay's been through her statements and devised a new budget. But in the process, she's unearthed thousands of hidden costs. Sam's debt worries are about to get a whole lot worse.
Now, we've got your new budget here, but before we go through this, there's a whole load of letters here, which are all bank charges. When these letters come through, your instinct is to just ignore them, is it? Blank them out.
Because there's so many of them.
Right.
There is so many of them.
So what's happened with all of these is that they have been whacking on bank charges.
Yeah.
And we've added up all the debts that you've got. You thought it was 42,000, didn't you?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you're not £42,000 in debt. You're actually £52,000
No way.
in debt, which is another 10,000 more than you actually had added it up to be, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Absolutely shocked. Obviously, I've never ever taken into account the interest, which I should do.
Before we talk about paying them back, what we've actually got to work out is how you're going to live, right? Now, what's clear is that at the end of every month, you are spending £869 more than you're actually bringing in. So we can see how this debt is getting bigger all the time. Now, the areas where we've really made the cutbacks that are going to hurt you are not surprisingly under clothing and beauty. So clothes and shoes, which at the moment you're spending £200 a month on, we've cut back to £40. Makeup and perfume, at the moment you're spending quite a whopping £200 on that. And we've actually chopped that back to naught for a while so that you can use all the stuff that you've actually got.
I've got a hell of a lot of makeup. I have. I really have.
The jewellery, £80 a month you've been spending on that. Again, we've cut that to zero because we think you can utilise some of the things that you've got.
Oh, definitely.
That means you can live your new budget. But what this doesn't do is start to pay back some of the debts. So what we wanted to talk to you about was rearranging some of your travel expenses, which are quite high. And that's an area that maybe we could look at thinking about cutting back in order to start getting some of the debts paid off.
Of Sam's two biggest assets, her car and her home, only by selling the house will she make any real inroads into her mountain of debt.
I think Sam's had a real shock today. Not only has she confronted her debts, but she's realised she's £10,000 more in debt than she ever imagined she was. I think what's really going to be hard for her to accept is that she may well have to sell the house before it gets repossessed.
The seriousness of her situation is hitting home.
Anything under £10,000 is probably quite manageable. But then you start hitting like 20, 30, 40. In my case, 50. And it's like, you know, hang on a minute here. You know what I'm going to do? You know. And it's like, how on earth am I going to get myself out of this situation? Because it is a lot of money.
It's essential Sam keeps to her new budget, and Jay's on hand to show her how.
So, Sam, for the moment, what we're not doing is making any inroads into your actual debt, but I don't want you to worry about that at the moment. I've got a plan up my sleeve. It's quite drastic.
Okay.
But for now, I just want you to keep on budget, and what I'm going to tackle today is your love of clothes, OK?
Right, yeah.
When I've been going through your statements, spending money on clothes is a big, big part of the spending problem, isn't it?
It is.
It seems you can't resist a bargain.
No, I can't.
So tell me what happens when you're out there and you suddenly see something.
If it's a real bargain, if it's been reduced by like 70%, and if it is near my size, I will buy it.
Because my definition of a bargain is something that is reduced in price, that you actually need, and that actually fits you.
Yeah.
What about those shoes? Were those a bargain, your stripy shoes?
The stripy ones were £10, yeah, they were in the sale.
Right.
The Kurt Geigers, they were £19, they were reduced from about 170.
Right.
They are actually my size as well, so that's a real
bonus.
Yeah.
This stuff here is really your key favourite looks, isn't it?
I think so, at the moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, what I think is going to be a good idea with you is to take some pictures of you in your favourite outfits, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to do with them, OK?
To nip her clothes buying in the bud, Jay's come up with a snappy solution.
Oh, wow. Good dress, Sam. OK. Oh, look. Very glamorous. Nice smile. Sam, the reason I wanted to take these photos of you is that I'm putting them in this little booklet here, and this is going to become Sam's new shopping companion, OK? When you're out shopping and you're constantly thinking, oh, look at those amazing leopard print shoes, just get this out, have a little flick, and I guarantee you there'll be a lot of, oh, I've already got one of those. Oh, look, I remember now, I love those shoes. And so what it's doing is just being your sort of stop moment.
Yeah.
Helping to stop that kind of crazy, get to the till, I've got to have it buzz.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That's fantastic. It's a really good idea.
And I wouldn't even be averse if you filled 2 of these. So I'll give you that.
Thank you.
And then there's one other thing which I'm going to give you, and this is going to be Sam's Do I Really Need This diary, all right? Because there are going to be times, let's be honest, when you're in a shop, temptation takes over, you really want something.
Yeah.
When you're in that situation, I want you to get used to asking yourself these questions, OK? Do I already have one? Have I tried it on? Does it fit me? Will I wear it more than once? Can I really afford it? OK? Now, if you do slip up, what I'd like you to do is to be really, really honest about it.
OK.
And to write down in this book why you had to have it, how you felt while you were buying it, what it was that made that an exception.
Armed with her catalogue of clothes and her justification diary, Jay hopes Sam will stop to think in the face of temptation. But days later, all the hard work goes to waste. Gavin's not happy.
Oh, yeah. That's just my shoes. So all that is just 3 pairs of shoes. So
When did you actually buy them or order them?
Last Saturday. I told you.
No, you didn't.
Did I not?
No.
Oh, they're £14, these shoes.
No, definitely didn't tell me about that.
Oh, these are the blue ones. Oh, yeah, these are my... Oh! Do you like them?
Not really.
Do you not?
No.
They were bargains, weren't they?
Obviously, I was a bit shocked and a bit peed off with her because she didn't really need another 3 pair of shoes to go with the 30 pairs that she's got already. So, yes, I was quite annoyed with her about that one.
I've not treated myself for ages and I've not gone over budget in anything else, so I thought, yeah, go for it, so I did. Don't feel guilty. Yet.
She's blown more than her monthly budget for shoes and clothes in one hit. Sam's determined to live her fairy tale life. Now Benjamin wants her to confront the issues behind it.
Sam, I brought you here today to this lovely castle because one of the things I want to investigate with you is your addiction to the fairy tale lifestyle. There's 2 sides to every fairy tale. And today here, I think we're going to learn a bit more about that.
Once upon a time, there lived a beautiful young girl called Samantha. She had riches beyond her wildest dreams. Expensive makeup, sumptuous jewellery, and enough clothes to dress the whole of Blackpool. She simply loved to spend money. But it wasn't hers to spend, and the big bad bank wanted it back. But wait, could this be her knight in shining armour? With a wave of his wand, Benjamin covered her with jewels and made her forget her debt. He put her on a throne and brought servants to wait on her hand and foot. They promised to serve her faithfully, to grant her every wish. They brought her rich red wine from the vineyards of France and offerings of gold and silver from the 4 corners of the world. Sam had never been happier, but Benjamin had some bad news.
Fairy tales are just stories.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid, Sam, this is all make-believe. The problem with your spending is that you don't know who you're going to be
Yeah.
if you stop spending money to create this fairy tale.
Yeah.
And you're terribly scared it's going to take you into places where you can't cope.
Yes, definitely.
And that place is where we're going right now.
Okay.
Benjamin wants Sam to face her demons, to enter the dark forest. For now, she's only comfortable with going to the edge.
I just wonder if maybe there's something you want to share about what this dark place really means to you.
It's like a state of depression where I kind of go into like a zombie mood where I can't think of anything else but bad thoughts, like what would happen to me if I didn't pay the mortgage or things like that. And for that reason, for those bad thoughts, I won't go into that dark place. I don't like it at all.
So what is there? What are those feelings? What's going to happen to you?
It's that I feel down, feel kind of empty, feel like I need to do something to get rid of it.
You can't avoid it anymore.
Definitely. Definitely.
To even begin to discuss her deepest concerns is a big step forward.
It's been a real psychological workout today without actually really having to get too close to anything difficult.
Yeah.
Remembering these themes, these images, these kind of games we played.
Yeah.
Can you take from this enough hope that you don't need the fairy tale, you don't need the spending, that you can actually survive a different way?
Yeah, I just need to know where to start, what to battle with first, and how to overcome it gradually. Yeah.
Well, that's terrific. Well done, Sam. I'm really proud of what you've done today. I know it was hard for you. Come out here into the light. I hope that today will give Sam a small nugget of self-belief, because the one thing I know with Sam is that she's not ready yet to give me the full story. So all I can do for her is help her to try to become ready, maybe to tell someone else later on in her journey.
Back home, she still can't tell Gavin how she feels.
If she is really upset, then she will come to me and tell me. But if it's something that she thinks that she can handle and do it herself, then she will do, because she's an independent woman.
Sam reverts back to her fairy tale life, on a budget.
Value cheese. But I'm trying to cook more at home now. I had super noodles for my dinner today. They're only 39p. And Gav's been making sandwiches, but I think I'm going to have sandwiches tomorrow. Here's your budget tea, my gorgeous one.
Thank you. That's not bad, that.
Oh, that's lovely.
Desperate to maintain the illusion of domestic bliss, she avoids opening up and confides in her video diary instead.
I'm not really worried about what Gavin will think, because Gavin already feels like quite ill, about 42,000. So it's like 52,000, it'd be like, they would actually get quite depressed, I think. Yeah, it won't be good.
With Sam's extra debt weighing heavy on her mind, Benjamin and Jay consider a new game plan to keep her on the straight and narrow.
One of the things I'm really worried about with her is that she's in a panic about her debt. It's bad enough to be 42,000 in debt, but when we added everything up and I revealed to her that it was in fact 52,000, I think that's been a really big shock to her.
Well, I think it's one of the major reasons why people don't get to that point of stopping spending, is because when they do, that's when you tally it up. And that's when the scale of what's ahead of you is really revealed. It's a huge shock. I imagine that she's quite uncomfortable right now.
Do you think she is going to take it on board and actually work with us, or do you think it's all going to be a bit too much for her to deal with?
Speaking of things being a bit too much for her to deal with, I may fall into that category, because at the moment I feel like I'm having to take it very gently and very softly, and probably won't get very far with her.
Well, what we should be concentrating on then is absolutely cracking this debt and laying some ground rules so that she's in a really good place to face the future.
And their tactics appear to be working. 2 weeks into her new regime, Sam's thinking the unthinkable.
This house, it's going to have to go. The only way I'm going to actually pay some of these people back is by getting the money out of the house, and to do that I've got to sell it. But we've completely redecorated the whole house from top to bottom, and, you know, just to get rid of it, it'd be like all that work really for nothing, in a way. So it'd be a bit disheartening.
She reluctantly puts the house on the market and arranges a viewing on a property she and Gavin could rent.
It's small, isn't it? That's definitely damp. Right, you can't be wider than this to get in this house. That all squashed up. What's all that about? What's all that about, actually? Actually, that's health and safety. What's that about? With a nail. Oh my God.
Her house is up for sale. Whether she sells it is another matter.
The house I went to see today, you know, it was just too small, and I didn't like it at all, and it was just, it had damp on the walls and stuff, and so if all the houses are kind of like that one that I went to see today, that are in the price range that I need. You know, cheaper than my mortgage that I'm paying at the moment. You know, there's not much luck really for me out there.
Jay decides to indulge Sam in a bit of pampering, but being on a budget, it's a cheap treat.
Now, what we're going to do today is I've got Anna here, who's a professional makeup artist, and we're going to have a bit of a play with the makeup, because I've worked out, because I've had a look at what's in here, that this makeup bag you've brought with you today is about £250 worth of products. So this is Sam's £250 face.
Jay keeps a record of Sam's expensive look and gets Anna to recreate it using a brand which is 7 times cheaper.
How much do you think you're affected by packaging when you go and buy something? How important is it to you that your makeup looks really lovely?
Packaging plays with your mind. If it looks good, you know, you probably think it is a good product as well.
OK, now we're going to go for some of your favourite bronzer.
Oh, yes.
Her usual bronzer is around £24. This brand is a mere £5.
You can make sure I get our money's worth out of one eyeliner.
Sam could buy 4 of these with one of her old eyeliners.
How much do you spend on your mascaras?
It's about £18.
OK, maybe we can be thinking about a bit of a cutback here.
How about a £13 cutback?
That looks good, Sam. Does it taste nice?
At just £4 a tube, it's also nice to her budget.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Fabulous.
OK, Sam's new look.
Sam's 2 looks are put to press, but is she prepared to swap her posh packages for a cheaper visage?
Now, this is your £250 face. Recognise that?
Yep.
That's your everyday look. So we like that, yeah?
Yeah.
Then that...
Oh, gosh. Yeah, it's very different.
...is what we've done. Now, that face is the £35 face. And I just wondered what you think when you look at that.
That looks fantastic. It does look really good.
Well, I'm glad you like this, because what I'd like to do is to keep, and I promise to keep them safely, your £250 worth of stuff, and then what I'm going to put into it is our £35 worth of products, which is going to make you realise what you don't miss and what you're begging to have back out of that lot.
Bye-bye.
Jay's teaching Sam to see beyond the packaging and concentrate on what's inside. Now Benjamin wants to drum the lesson in, but on an emotional level. It's time to put her feelings under the spotlight.
Here we are in an empty auditorium
Yes.
with 4 fantastic concert-grade timpanis. So I want you to beat these drums up, and I want you to feel it. I want you to really put what it is that drags you down and drag it up and drag it back into the drum.
I've never done it.
Yeah, so what?
Something else has set me off. But
Okay,
it's
well.
made me think that actually when I play fight with Gavin, sometimes I'll go too far and I will actually hurt him.
There you go.
But I don't mean to, and then I feel really
Because
bad.
you've got it in you, waiting to
have.
come out.
I have.
You know that. You know, I'm angry.
Oh dear. No, I don't know if I am.
OK, how about this? I'm mildly frustrated.
Yes. Yeah. That one's
See if you
nice.
can build that.
It'd be fair to say her first attempt is somewhat lacking in real emotion.
You're not allowing yourself to experience your feelings in a raw, negative state. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, and I could never express my feelings at home. If I was feeling sad, I'd just go to my bedroom.
What feelings are you going there to hide?
It's the same ones that I have now, the sad ones and depressive ones. But I had no money when I was a little girl, so I couldn't shop.
Exactly. Shopping became your outlet from depression. But I'm trying to give you a different one. Okay? Beat that drum.
Benjamin wants Sam to use the drums to express her true emotions.
That's incredibly loud.
It wasn't quite the crescendo he'd hoped for, but she's learning how to express her negative feelings.
So what did you get out of it, Sam?
It's kind of like, the noise is like what's going on inside, probably.
The noise is what's going on inside. And now you're making that noise outside.
Definitely, yeah.
So you don't have to carry it around inside anymore. There are many ways to connect with and externalise the feelings which lead to depression because they're ignored. And if she feels like she's slipping into that state, this is something she can remember, and remember that she can bring herself out of it. She doesn't have to go off spending money or drag herself out or Gavin to a bar. She can actually spend time with herself and drag herself out of that really dark state of depressive feelings.
3 weeks in, and Sam takes her new budget and new look out on the town.
Could I get a Virgin Mary, please? One Virgin Mary, £1, 20p.
She never leaves home without her designer makeup. What will her friends make of her new budget mask?
I can't believe you've been to London and not bought anything.
Well, it's what happened was I went to Covent Garden, surrounded by all these big shops, and the temptation, I was like, no, not having it. And I did it. I didn't buy anything.
Oh, she's doing it.
I know. I did. And you know, because I spend so much on Dior makeup, they took all my Dior off me and gave me all the new stuff, and I've got it on now. What do you think?
Oh, I think it's fun. It's very nice.
It gets the thumbs up.
Went straight tonight. Spent just £1.20, so I'm bang on budget. Still enjoyed it as much as what I would do. And I've also not had to pay for taxes because my lovely, gorgeous Gavin picked me up and brought me home.
She's finally learning to budget, but with her debt looming, there's a long way to go. Sam still can't open up. For Benjamin's final session, he wants to give her an easy outlet for expressing her everyday emotions.
Sam, I think I'm not getting the whole story, in a sense. And I do believe you've acknowledged this to some degree already.
Yeah.
But I don't want to leave you without a resource to cope with whatever it is that's troubling you.
Benjamin wants Sam to write a journal about events in her life and how she feels about them.
Right.
It's what happened, how I felt about it then, and how I feel now remembering that.
She starts by writing about her day drumming.
Well, at first I was anxious about what was going to happen when I started banging the drums. But then it was quite elating in a way. It was quite, you know, it made me did feel quite happy afterwards, so it was good in the end.
You see, that packs a little bit more punch.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Because you're actually beginning to engage with your feelings by thinking about them and describing them.
Yeah.
And it brings up a bit of feeling in you, doesn't it? So whatever happens, you can take 5 minutes out and you can express yourself about it.
Sam, like many young spenders, is just not ready to tackle the dark issues underpinning her debt. By leaving her with a personal journal, she's got some tools to help herself in the future. A month ago, Sam Cromblehome was spending like there was no tomorrow. She was drowning in debt to the point where she'd lost sight of it. Her calculation of £42,000 turned out to be somewhat short of the mark.
You're not £42,000 in debt, you're actually £52,000 in debt.
Jay went on to tackle her love of expensive makeup.
And that
Oh, gosh.
is the £35 base.
And left her with a small reminder of her huge clothes collection.
Just get this out, have a little flick, and I guarantee you there'll be a lot of, oh look, I've already got one of those.
Benjamin battled to get her to confront her dark emotions.
I feel down, feel kind of empty.
and tried to get her to connect with them.
How does that feel, being next to something so loud? Is that a bit threatening?
No, it's quite exciting because I've never done it before.
Yeah, do it again then.
But still the debt hangs over her and fiancé Gavin. They might have put their house up for sale, but they're struggling to let it go. It's her final visit, and Jay has a surprise answer to their housing problems.
Nice to see you.
To see you, nice.
Now, I spotted the for sale sign outside. How do you feel, Gavin, about leaving this house?
I wouldn't really like to leave the house because it's, you know, it's our own, and it'll be a big sacrifice that I will not be looking forward to.
No.
You would describe yourselves as emotionally attached to this house?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, we've only lived here a year and 8 months, and I think we're, like, stuck to it like super glue, aren't we?
It is, yeah.
It really does feel like that.
Just come with me, because there's just one rental property that I've got an idea might actually suit you both. We're not going far.
Jay's solution is right on Sam's doorstep.
Weird now.
I know you think I'm mad, don't you?
I think so.
But what I'd like to share with you is an idea, because what we've actually found is a company here in Blackpool who will buy this house from you at the market value. They act as landlords, so they will rent it back, which means you can stay here, you can rent it while you get yourself sorted, and you get the money freed up to help clear the debts from the sale, and you don't have to move. What do you reckon?
Sounds good.
It means their rental nightmares might be over if they rent the home they love.
What do you reckon, Gavin?
It sounds good, that.
Yeah?
Nothing is an absolutely perfect solution, but this is as near as damn it.
Definitely.
Yeah? You see, Gavin's looking quite happy now.
Yes.
Yeah?
I tell you what, Gavin, I'm going to leave you with the key.
Thank you.
And you can think about it.
I'll have a jolly good think about it.
By selling their home, they'll release around £25,000, which would pay back half Sam's debt.
I was really worried about Sam after we did the new budget chat, because her debts are really huge and it was going to take something quite radical to make her change. I wasn't sure whether she was really accepting that she was going to have to make an effort in many ways, including rethinking her living space, but she surprised me with her open mind, and I think this is definitely the way forward.
It's been 6 weeks since Sam met our financial hit squad. Now they're back to see if she's kept herself credit-free.
So, Sam, we've got to the end.
Yeah.
How are you?
And I've really actually enjoyed it. It's been a good learning curve for me. And I'm enjoying sticking on budget as well.
Oh, I bet you never thought that at the beginning.
I never did.
So have you done any journal writing?
Oh, yeah. I have been writing the journal.
Does that dissipate some of the tension and stress that you think you used to feel?
Yeah. I've not had any of those impulses where I've wanted to just go to the shops.
Now, a big thing for you was the addiction to makeup and the expensive makeup.
Yeah, it was.
How are you getting on without that?
Completely converted, which is amazing. It's saved me a blooming fortune. It really has.
Well, in here is the makeup that I confiscated from you and gave you your budget kit.
You did?
Do you want to swap it back?
No. No.
Really?
Definitely no.
That is a massive step forward.
It is, and I'm really surprised. Really surprised.
But Sam's still undecided on whether to sell her home and rent it back.
I think it's great that you feel that the weight has been taken off your shoulders, but the burden of the debt still remains.
It does.
However, Jay and I may have some news for you in that area.
Oh.
Even though she'll make £25,000 from the sale of her house, there's a chance her creditors will accept this as a final payment and write the remaining £27,000 off.
So you could settle absolutely everything.
Oh my
Still
God.
stay in your own house and start again with absolutely everything written off.
Fantastic.
How do you feel that your debts could be completely and utterly gone?
Yeah.
if you just take that one step with the house?
99.9% I feel fantastic about it. That 0.1, it's the whole coming off the property ladder, and that is the only little niggle that I have, but it's worth it to clear the debt. It is so worth it.
Yeah.
Really
You know
is.
what, though, Sam? You are young enough to start again.
Yes.
You can write these debts off. I don't think you're ever going to do what you've done
No, I will not.
ever again.
No.
You're not somebody who's going to be going backwards, and I don't think it's going to take you that long to get back on the property ladder.
And that is the great thing I've got going for me. You know, I am only 21, so I have got so much more life ahead of me, and being debt-free would be amazing. It really would.
You can live again.
Yeah.